And what it is I've been building these coin rings. And these are just, I don't know if you can see this, but they're just quarters. And I've turned them into rings, and they still have the, whatever was on the inside, the date, what have you. And here's one I'm making for a friend of mine that's from Pennsylvania. And this is the state quarter, and hopefully you can see that it says Pennsylvania there. It's got the date inside. So the back side is the outside on this, and the face side of the coin on this particular one is the inside one. There's a couple of ways to make these. You can punch a hole out in the center of the coin like that, which is actually, it's a lot more difficult than it looks. I know it doesn't look difficult there because I missed it by a mile, but punching that out and then forming it, after that is one thing. What you would do with that is you put it on a jeweler's mandrel, this thing right here. Just put it on there, and there's a couple of ways to tap these down. You can get a piece of leather, put it right there, and you can just kind of start going to town on it. And then you'll eventually work that all the way down to here. As you're actually folding the coin over, so you want to put the side that you want on the outside of the coin up. Now, the problem with that is you wind up sometimes with a ring that's, instead of being flat across the top or even raised across the top, it's kind of indented across the top. Even though you can bend the ends in and all of that, it still doesn't really look right. So the best way to do them is also the hardest way. What's the odds of that? The best way to do it is to take your coin, and in fact I'm going to have to move the camera to show you this. But basically you're going to take your coin and you're going to take a hammer and you're just going to slowly start going around it like this until you actually make a ring out of it. And then you cut the center out and you file that out. But I'll show you that in a second. Okay, like I said, what we've been practicing on have been the cheaper, quarters, the zinc and copper ones that aren't really worth much. But this time we're going to use one of these pure silver, 90% silver dollars. So that's why I got my new hammer, or my newly surfaced hammer. I'm also going to use a new razor blade. And I'm wearing the glove only because it gives you a better grip on the coin. Alright, well, hopefully we won't need to use this one. Alright, so we'll open this up. Supposedly this is uncirculated, but it's not graded, so I'm not sure if it really is or not. It looks pretty good. Okay. Let's pull this out. Wow. The silver quarters look like silver, and the quarters that were minted after 1964 aren't silver. They're a mix of copper and zinc. So, I mean, they're still cool and everything. They got the cool dates, but they're not silver. This is 90% silver. So, we're going to take a stab at, I've done enough of these now that where I'm pretty confident I can do this without ruining it. I mean, you can't really ruin silver. Einstein said mass never disappears, it just goes somewhere else. So you could always melt it down or do whatever you had to do with it. Okay, so basically all this is you just take your hammer, a flat surface. Now if you notice, this is not very flat. I went through all the trouble to make my hammer flat, but the plate on my anvil is kind of gouged. But I'm going to try to stay on this nicer side right here. I built a lot of motorcycle parts on this thing, so I gouged it up pretty good. But basically all you're going to do, lay the coin on its side just like that, and you're going to tap it as you roll it. Okay, just like this. slowly but surely, this will become a ring. We're outside. It's a nice day. It's a little cooler than it's been in SoCal. And we're just going to keep going on this. Because I overheated it, I used this ginger. Either say hello or go. I used this punch and I just laid it in there. It fits in there kind of perfect. And I just gave it a taps with a soft hammer just to even it out on both sides. It doesn't take much with silver because it's so soft. So I was so careful about not gouging it, but I did it right there. See, there's a little bit of a crack right there. So I'm going to have to work on that. Kind of got to get that out before we tap on it anymore because that could develop into a crack. So I'm going to get that out without making a hole there, and then I'll get back to it. Okay, I cut the rest of that hole out on my bench drill press, so it's a little better of a hole. So now the only thing is just going at it with the file and just filing all of that out so you get it to where you want it. Well, there it is. That's that quarter, that 1954 quarter, 90% silver. And I had a little trouble with the background in here. There's some of that stuff I just can't get out of there evenly, but not too bad. Still see the date right there. I don't know if you can see it, 1954. And I made it for pinky rings. Fits on there pretty good. You can tell the difference between a silver ring, you know, a 90% silver ring, and a regular quarter, which is zinc and copper. You can tell just by the finish how much nicer that is. So that was a fun little project. Took about 4 hours, maybe, 4 solid hours to do it. So there it is, that's it. And I can always get a ride on the bus with that, I think. Okay, see you later.